surrounded by nature and it's really beautiful out here. It's quiet, it's peaceful, there's fresh air, different birds and animals I'm seeing and I can hear. But getting here has not been easy. It's been tough and you need a proper SUV, a proper 4x4 SUV to get here. This is a proper 4x4 SUV. It's the Isuzu Mu-X. It's mighty powerful and it goes up against the likes of Ford's Endeavour and Toyota's Fortuner. So do stay tuned as I tell you all about it. So as you can see, the Mu-X, it sports a very boxy design with well-rounded proportions. It definitely rivals the Fortuner and the Endeavour in terms of size. It is about 4825 mm long, it is about 1860 mm high and about 1840 mm wide. Gets a good ground clearance of almost 220 mm. The 4x2 variant can scale up to 15 degrees while the 4x4 variant, that is the one we have with us right now, it can scale about 30 degrees. A twin slat chrome grille up front, you have LED DRLs, you have projector headlamps. It's got a very bold and imposing look up front. It also has the best approach angle amongst the lot. So about 30.1 degrees is the approach angle and 25.1 is the departure angle. You also get 17-inch diamond cut alloy wheels from Isuzu. You have a step plate on the side, you have chrome finished ORVMs with turn indicators. And these ORVMs are foldable and retractable as well. You have roof rails. Overall the looks are butch, boxy and brawny, and it does have a contemporary character to it. It does have Isuzu's DNA and nature. Let's find out a little more about what's on offer inside. The rear as well has mammoth proportions. You have very sleek and angular tail lamps. You have plenty of chrome, you have a rear window wiper along with a defogger as well. The tailgate can be released from here and it opens up to a decently spaced boot. You have, with all rows folded up, you have about 235 liters of boot space. Drop it down, you still have plenty of room if you have 5 people journeying with you, and you can also drop down the second row to create about 1830 liters of boot space. So on the inside, this cabin is definitely contemporary. Good quality materials I am seeing used all around. It's pretty subtle. It's not over the top extravagant. At the same time, it does have a fine blend of very rich to touch and feel materials which have adorned this cabin. Good solid build quality that you can expect from Isuzu. You have a leather wrapped steering wheel, multifunction steering wheel. You can receive and control calls from this steering wheel, the audio settings, etc. You have on offer a tilt but not telescopic steering wheel. So that is something that Isuzu could have added. Apart from that, you have an automatic climate control over here. You have a touchscreen infotainment setup and you have connectivity for USB, auxiliary, Bluetooth. You also have another USB slot down here, 12-volt power socket. You have push button start stop, so that's definitely an advantage to have. Again, electrically adjustable and retractable ORVMs, wire button over here, power windows with an auto function for the driver. You don't have a vanity mirror for the driver, you do have a vanity mirror for the co-driver. You get a sunglass holder up here and storage space over here. However, it's not really slidable. You have bottle holders in the doors along with map pockets in the doors and bottle holders over here. Of course, this is the 4-wheel drive variant, so you have a selector for 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive high and 4-wheel drive low. You also get a shift lock option with this. So I'm getting adequate comfort in these seats. There is a good amount of bolstering on the sides over here, especially even while you're driving off-road, and over here on the sides. So I am pretty well ensconced in these seats. Decent amount of back support, decent amount of lumbar support as well, good shoulder room, and I am pretty comfortable over here. Let's go and check out how it is in the second and third rows as well. So I'm sitting in the second row of the Isuzu Mu-X, and it's pretty comfortable out here. The seat is providing me adequate support for my back and adequate knee room and adequate room for me to stretch out. Decent amount of under thigh support as well. Decent amount of shoulder room, a decent amount of headroom. For reference, my height is 5'7". There is also a center armrest with bottle holders. You have bottle holders over here as well in the doors. A map pocket right here. You have a 10-inch infotainment screen, so this is for movies which can be played via DVD. It is provided on both variants of the Mu-X. You also have a roof mounted air conditioning vent over here for the second row, and roof mounted surround sound audio speakers. The hunch on the floor as well is not too tall, so someone who is sitting, preferably a child who is sitting in the middle, will not have too much trouble inside this cabin. There's a decent amount of comfort in the third row. You have a little knee room and a little room to stretch my legs out, not too much. Plenty of back support. Under thigh support takes a hit. There is storage spaces out here, bottle holder over here, and storage spaces over here as well. Little headroom, but there is definitely space out here. It would be better for kids. Adults, an average Indian adult may have a little difficulty sitting over here or may get cramped after a while over here. You also have AC vents for the third row. So I'm driving around in the Isuzu Mu-X, and it is definitely one big burly brute SUV. It has that raw and rugged appeal that everyone expects. It's got those mammoth proportions as well. Powering this monster is a 3-liter 4-cylinder engine. The engine puts out approximately 174.5 bhp and 380 Newton meters of torque. Peak power comes in at 3600 rpm, while peak torque comes in from 1800 to 2800 rpm. It's got a decent turning circle radius, as you can see right now, and even if you want to put it through its paces and power up, you definitely can do that. Now the Isuzu Mu-X definitely has adequate torque to get you through some of the stickiest of situations. 380 Newton meters of torque comes in pretty low in the range at about 1800 rpm, and it's more than adequate, we felt, to get you out of tough situations. We took it off-road as well, and through some gravel, through some dirt, over rocks, over inclines. Climbing over rocks was not really too much of a bother. It wasn't too difficult. So the engine in the Isuzu Mu-X has been mated to a 5-speed automatic transmission. There are only two variants. One is a 2-wheel drive, one is a 4-wheel drive. I'm in the 4-wheel drive. Both variants only have one transmission option, and that is a 5-speed automatic. That is a bit of a downside because someone who's looking for a manual transmission does not have that option on the Isuzu Mu-X. But in terms of comfort and convenience, this automatic transmission is pretty good. The gear shifts on the automatic as well are pretty seamless. That's third gear I'm in right now, and it's not too much of a lag between gear shifts. It's quite smooth, so even while you're driving on highways, even when you're cruising at high speeds or you've floored the accelerator, it's not too evident, and the gear shifts are pretty seamless. So floored the automatic transmission. Even on a turn, I just touched 100 and down from 100 to 0 in a matter of seconds. So it's definitely got that power. It's definitely able to surge forward when you want it to, and braking is facilitated by disc brakes on all 4 wheels. You have 300mm discs up front and 318mm discs in the rear. You also have ABS, EBD, vehicle stability management and traction control, which work pretty well. I'm just going to show you. There is a fair bit of body roll which I did experience. Nothing really detrimental or irksome, doesn't really worry you too much, and the vehicle holds its own pretty well. What I really love about the Isuzu Mu-X is the suspension setup. It has been tuned to lean towards the softer side, and most of the undulations and bumps that you would face on Indian roads are gobbled up with ease. You don't really feel it, and it does not seep into the cabin like I'm going to show you right now. The vehicle just rides over those bad roads pretty well, and the occupants are quite comfortable inside the cabin. You also have a clear visibility of all four corners of the vehicle, and it is definitely maneuverable. The steering is slightly on the lighter side, so maneuvering the MU-X in and around traffic as well is not going to be too difficult. And you also get a rear parking camera, so parking into those tight spaces is also not going to be a bother. So a bit of a niggle I have with the Isuzu MU-X is the noise insulation that is there inside the cabin. The rumble of the diesel engine, especially when you're putting this vehicle through its paces, does come in, and there is a bit of wind noise and road noise that is also seeping into the cabin. The Isuzu MU-X gets all the right trappings of a great SUV. It boasts of good performance, power, features and comfort. Even the off-road performance of this vehicle is quite exceptional, and it does stand at par with its competitors. All of this is being offered by Isuzu Motors at a very fair price point of 25.99 lakh ex-showroom Delhi. The two-wheel drive variant of this vehicle is being offered for 23.99 lakh ex-showroom Delhi. So if you are interested in a vehicle of this size and caliber, definitely go to an Isuzu showroom today and check it out.